Everyone, welcome to the show. So last week, I had shared with you guys that the majority of Americans disagree with Donald Trump's decision to pardon all of the January 6 convicts and defendants. And this has been consistent since even before he took office. I mean, the polling was bad even before he became the president again. And the disapproval rate for that specific issue has only increased since Donald Trump started his second term. So as I mentioned in a Washington Post Ipsos poll, 83.3% of Americans disapproved of Trump's decision to pardon all of the January 6 participants, or I should say the ones who committed violence. So 83% of American citizens say, no, I did not think it was right for him to pardon the people who committed violent acts at the Capitol on January 6th. Nearly 55% dislike Trump's pardon of all of the January 6 defendants and convicts, including just the ones who were busted for misdemeanors, the ones who weren't even charged with violent crimes. So, I mean, you can't get this many people in the United States to agree on anything. This is unbelievably unpopular. This is the most unpopular thing that Trump has done in the past month since he took office, by far. And yet he is now doubling down on this wildly unpopular action. So Trump's Justice Department just announced his pardons will extend to crimes that have nothing to do with January 6th. The DOJ told the courts that they're going to drop charges against two different men who were found to illegally possess guns when their homes were searched during the Capitol attack. So you guys will remember this. So these are guns that were found, they were found because of the January 6th search, but these crimes have nothing to do with January 6th and the Capitol attack. So these were two men who I had mentioned recently in videos. This was after they were rearrested for these completely unrelated charges, Elias Castellanos and Daniel Ball. So here's a reminder about who these men are and why they were charged with additional and separate crimes. 45-year-old former Maryland resident Elias Castellanos, he was originally arrested and charged with numerous crimes for his involvement in the Capitol attack. Mostly misdemeanors, but there was one felony in there. When the FBI searched his home and they searched his car, they found a bunch of different weapons. I think they found like 4 different weapons. They found weed, cocaine, and also testosterone. And the Justice Department wrote, quote, "The electronic evidence from Castellanos' phone, including photographs and text message conversations, revealed that Castellanos illegally used cocaine, testosterone, and marijuana, and that his use of each substance was consistent, prolonged, and recent. Castellanos further admitted that he not only purchased cocaine and testosterone for personal use, but that he also conspired to distribute and did distribute cocaine and testosterone to others." So in September of 2021, he was charged in a separate case for conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute a controlled substance, and possession of firearms and ammunition by an unlawful user of any controlled substance. 2 years later, September 2023, Castellanos pleaded guilty to the charge of possession of firearms and ammunition by an unlawful user of any controlled substance. He was sentenced, based on his plea deal, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison and 2 years of probation. I have news about January 6 defendant and Florida man Daniel Ball. His previous convictions include domestic violence battery by strangulation, battery on law enforcement, and resisting law enforcement with violence. And he was rearrested before he was even released from the DC jail. So the new arrest warrant was issued by the state of Florida for illegal possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Evidently, this new charge is the result of the search of his home when they went to look, when they went to arrest him and search his property for his alleged January 6 crimes. This new arrest warrant states that when the FBI searched his home, they found a loaded .22 caliber rifle ammunition, and multiple commercially produced explosive devices. And they said it was similar to the device that Ball allegedly admitted to throwing at the police on January 6th. So as you saw there, these are not good guys. These are not victims, okay? But Donald Trump's Justice Department believes that these completely separate charges should be dismissed and these should be free men. In a court filing last Wednesday, Assistant U.S. Attorney David Bornstein wrote, quote, "After consulting with the Department of Justice's leadership, the United States has concluded that the president pardoned Mr. Castellanos of the offenses in the indictment. He should be immediately released from custody." This directly conflicts what the same Justice Department said in court in the case of Taylor Taranto, who was charged for January 6th and then was later charged when he was caught in Barack Obama's neighborhood. You guys might remember this. He said on video, he was walking through Barack Obama's neighborhood and said on video that he was trying to find Obama's home and he planned to go in. So in that case, here's what the DOJ told the judge, quote, "The pardon covers only offenses related to events that occurred at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. The language of the pardon is limited in scope by time and location." So they're just making this shit up as they go along. It seems like they are not adhering to any specific guideline or logic. Because yes, their charges, their separate charges were completely different, right? Castellanos and Ball, they had gun charges. This other guy got picked up for something, later down the road, but they're still unrelated. I mean, they, in their own words, said this pardon is limited in scope by date and location. So they're just lying. They're just making stuff up. So as with so many of Donald Trump's other actions, this is just deeply disturbing, right? I mean, they were just picking and choosing at random who they're going to let go and who they're not. It's sickening. It's truly sickening. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll, let the guy who just got picked up for solicitation of a minor, maybe they'll let him off too. Yeah, would not be shocked. Would not be surprised by that, given who Donald Trump is. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video. Please share it so other people understand how just they're completely insane and just making it okay to be criminals, making criminal activity great again in America. Please become a subscriber if you have not. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.